Progressives Congress last week officially endorsed the selection of Prince Nicholas Ukachukwu as the party's flag bearer for the November 8, 2025 gubernatorial poll in Anambra State. The National Publicity Secretary of the party, Felix Moka, disclosed this in a statement issued after the National Working Committee meeting held last Wednesday in Abuja. Ukachukwu had emerged winner of the primary, polling 1,455 votes to defeat his closest rival, Valentine Ozigbo, who secured 67 votes. He described the primary as fair, credible, and transparent. However, after Ukachukwu's emergence as the official flag bearer for the APC ahead of the gubernatorial polls, a massive wave of defections has hit the All Progressives Congress in Anambra State, following growing discontent over the outcome of the party's Guber primary held in Awka, the state capital, on April 5. When you listen to the comments of Valentine Ozigbo, who of course came second in the race, as somebody who had a lot of conversations around him, a lot of high expectations of him being a close challenger to you, he has called that primary election a charade, a fraud. He's called it a heist. He said there was bribery. He said that non-APC members were part of the delegation list and that those faithful members of the party were not even allowed to be part of the process. Can you comment on how the primary was conducted? Because currently there's a lot of discourse about how unlawful the conduct was.
Oh, thank you very much, but let me just say something. You see, at times, the way people picture things might not be the way it is actually on ground. And also, it's like my mother used to say to me that if you are going to market and you are carrying your product to the market, you also know those who are selling the same market you are selling, so you don't price yourself out of the market and carry your goods there and carry it back home. Because it's not what you want that matters. Your product must be right, and then the price must be right. Exactly the same thing with policies. People that are buying you knows you. You can't sell the chicken that the leg is broken inside the same compound because they know the leg has been broken. They can't cover it. One thing is obvious that let also remember this. The final day of the primaries is not just, it didn't start that day. Before delegates emerges, they contest those delegates, including in his wards. And somebody said that people that voted, that some of them are not APC. No, they are not putting it forward and the way it is. Let me also say this. We joined the party. Don't forget I was a member of APOGA, not only being a member, a board of trustee member for that matter. I ran that joint ticket with Soludo. We are one faction of the party which nominated or nominated. Supreme Court has settled this, so I'm not going there now. And then I moved, other people moved, Obiara moved from, was in Zenith Party, later PDP, and then he moved back. I moved from APOGA with all the APOGA people that were with me back, don't forget I ran all election in the APOGA. And then I moved back to APC. And APC said, normally the constitution of APC says that if you move, and if every year or 2 years or 3 years, they do what they call revalidation. Revalidation means all the people that join us now go and register in the ward and be part of it. And Valentine also know that because they gave him waiver also for him to contest. So at that point, who is APC and who is not APC? Anyone who has joined APC and been revalidated are APC members. It's about you don't have a crowd because he joined APC without any follower. And because he came in without nobody can vote for you. If you are joining APC, you come with a crowd that belongs to you. And because APC on ground knows those who came with the crowd and those who have been looking for, those have been talking to, APC have been talking to me to join them for over years. Actually, the party was.
So Valentine got Valentined by APC. Valentine has just learned a very, very hard way, according to Very Dark Man. Valentine just learned the very hard way, the APC way, which is a way that doesn't follow the rule. The man says if you come with your own crowd. It's not about the delegate anymore, so you bring your own delegates. This Valentine issue, Valentine Ozigbo's issue, which he called a fraud, the primary in APC, I didn't want to talk about it because I thought it was a non-issue for me to talk about. But again, I then thought about it and thought, the kind of leaders that we elect. But before we break down in pieces the things that he talked about, let's start by saying, please, if you're meeting this content for the first time, like, share, and subscribe. And if you've been following us and you've not subscribed, like, share, and subscribe. And also watch it to the end. But remember to recommend this channel to others. But let's break this down. Our system works because the way our system works is because we have leaders who are not patriotic. Our leaders are not visionaries. Our leaders don't see where Nigeria can go, but where their pockets could go. Nigeria is a country where a politician wins an election today, tomorrow has become a billionaire. Not because he worked, not because he created anything, because politics puts money in their pocket. And that's what they hold their patriotism to. This guy on TV here and Valentine as well, they've moved from one party to another. So when Valentine cross-carpeted from Labour Party to APC, when I looked at it, I thought this guy was from PDP, went to Labour Party, and then moved back to APC. I thought he just went back to where he was originally, because if you look at PDP is an offshoot of APC, or APC is an offshoot of PDP anyway. And they're just one of the same, two parties on the same coin. Just flip the coin over and you get them. So because I realized they have no convictions. They have no convictions. I mean, I was a proponent of Peter Obi leaving Labour Party because I felt Labour Party was, plagued with a lot of, internal crises and spies from other parties. But kudos to himself, Peter Obi, a state wants to fix it, and that's where you have to give credit to Shore, because the man has been consistent. But my point of emphasis here is this. We need to investigate the kind of candidates we're fielding for political offices. We need to investigate their characters. We need to investigate their policies, especially their policies, including, even if you're supporting Peter Obi, you need to investigate Peter Obi's for policies. His Naira devaluation policy, his subsidy removal policy, how he's going to do that, how he's going to affect, when he knows, how he would know what time to do that. How are you going to put basic amenities back on the road? Send people pipe-borne water to get into people's homes. Provide basic infrastructure for people. Let businesses thrive. You need to investigate those policies. In getting Nigeria to where we want Nigeria to get to, these are the kind of questions you need to ask. You cannot say based on your tribe. Look, most of the people that voted for Tinubu because he's Yoruba. Now I ask you the question. Has it improved your life? Most of the people that wanted him to vote, they said he was a Muslim, they were okay for him to be that. Has it improved your lives? We can't vote on ethnic and religious grounds. Policies moves nations forward or backward. If you look at Tinubu's policies, you will realize there are policies that are moving Nigeria backward, even with Buhari, starting from Buhari rather. And then, by the way, you cannot say you won't vote from 2027, because if you don't vote, you're giving them the license to rig the election anyway. By the way, they don't want you to vote. So by not voting, you're actually doing what they really wanted you to do in the first place. They don't want you to vote. They don't want Nigerians to be active and participating in the governance of the country. So that's why they try to clamp down on us when we're speaking up and asking them to give account of the money they're making, the money that you're getting from the federal government, from the state government to do the work they're doing. Even their internally generated revenue. We want to see what they're using the money for. How much did you make this month from the people in taxes? What have you used them for? Show us. Break it down. We can see the analytics, and we can then from that say, oh yes, they've done well. If you're awarding contracts to businesses, how did you solicit the people that are executing the contracts for you? These are the kind of things we need to investigate and question. The process, the policies. Don't vote on grounds of triumph or sentiment. Sentiment will not put money in your pocket. It will not put food on your table. Look at what is going on in Nigeria. The government does not have the willpower to defeat banditry and terrorism. But yet they tell a governor to go and summon the willpower, the political will to do it. That's what happens. Election has consequences. And we've seen it already with this current administration and the previous ones, including Buhari's and Tinubu's and Jonathan's. Election has consequences. I have said it again. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Investigate the characters, investigate the policies of the people. Look at our president, for example. Our president has questionable characters. History. Our vice president, the same thing. The Senate president, questionable characters. The Senate president was under investigation by EFCC. He ran for election. The investigation is on hold till now. Look at our Speaker of the House of Representatives. Come down to your governor's level. Question almost all the governors in Nigeria, or there's ever been a governor in Nigeria, one way or another, they've accused them of theft. Yaya Bello is one of the most recent one with the Amonte store of fraud. So these are the kind of things you need to investigate. I dare say most of our politicians, they're not patriotic. The only patriotism they have is to their pocket and how much they can steal. This is the only country you come to as a politician. One day you win election, the next day you're so wealthy. Billionaire. How did you get the money? Politics. They didn't create anything. They didn't invest. They didn't, build anything. They didn't invest in anything. All of a sudden, they're buying houses and buying planes and everywhere, and all over the country. That's why they can't tell them to show you their tax papers and how much they paid in tax compared to what they have in their account. They cannot show you. Even the president was asked how he's made the money. He said he was a real estate. Are you kidding me? So we need to wise up this time. We need to speak up this time. We need to be active this time. We need to help other people realize the importance of governance. Election has consequences. You have to remember that. If there's nothing you're taking away from this video today, remember that election has consequences. You cannot keep quiet. We need to be very active. We need to be very involved. We cannot leave Nigeria in the hands of our politicians who have ruined our country. That's the Valentine and Peter Obi. You can see. So he won election with Labour Party. He left Labour Party to go to APC because he wanted to be a governor. And now he's been rigged out of the process. And he says he's a fraud. Can you see no conviction? And the other man says he didn't come with his own crowd. Are those the crowds for the primaries? The delegates? So our system is rigged to not work, and is rigged on purpose to not work, so that it can continue to perpetuate the criminality that's been perpetrated by a few people. And that's why you and I have to be very active. I am saying this again, as I said before, go get your PVC early, because they don't want you to have it. Remember what happened in 2023? You found out PVCs in the bushes after the election because they refused to let people vote. So if you have the time to get your PVC, do that early now, so that you have it to hand. Let us see whether or not they'll change the process again. It's possible they can do it, but we're thinking ahead and preempting them. Do you understand? As long as we have the same current chairman, INEC chairman, and even the one that will come after, is just a way to rig the election for the current party in power. But we also have to be wise. If we come out en masse, we have a way of defeating them. So when you look at this incident of Valentine Ozigbo, his face will be the one you see on it, but it's more about our process. It's more about our system. It's more about what we could be. Do you understand? It's more about what we could be. Let's ask this question. Ask this question like you were the interviewers asking this man the question. What are your policies? How would your policies put money in my pocket? If you look at any advanced word, that's exactly the ask. The bread and butter issue. How would your policies help me put more money in my pocket, put food on the table for me to take care of my family? How would your policies bring pipe-borne water into my house, fix electricity, fix our fuel issue, fix our refineries, fix our roads? How will you give account of the money that you receive in terms of internally generated revenue? GDP, how would you grow it? How would you bring us out of debt as a nation? Will you work with IMF or World Bank? What are you borrowing against? Ask these intelligent questions. Do you understand? That's what we should be talking about. So don't be fooled by this Valentine Ozigbo's issue. Is just on the periphery. It's a bigger problem because we have this. And again, remember, all of our politicians are all defecting to APC, the same party Nigeria doesn't want. Why? Because they know the system is not going to work for them. Again, I'm not sure if you agree with all I'm saying, but I'm just saying I'm giving you an example of things that we need to do in this analysis. However, if you're meeting this content for the first time, like, share, and subscribe. And if you've been following us and you've not subscribed, please do so. But put your comment in the comment section and let us know what you think. If you agree with what we've said here, but also recommend this channel to others. We have conversations that are intelligent here. And be part of the community as well. All right. So like, share, subscribe, and recommend this channel. I'll catch you up in the next video. As always, God bless you. Bye-bye for now.